Bunnycast number 42, recorded on November 4th, 2010. Dear, insert subject name here. Thank you for your interest in participating in Science's annual Look and Fall Festival celebratory exercise-enabled carbohydrate gathering team exercise activity. Be reassured that your action will be properly recorded, and filed for future reference should it become necessary as part of your regular co-participant daily interaction. While you have completed nearly all of your designated carbohydrate gathering tasks, there is only one further test for you to participate in. Please venture up the stairs to the test chamber and assume the participant's position. Upon commencement of the party, we will serve delicious cake and present you with your very own companion cube. Thank you, and have a pleasant Wick and Fall Festival. Sincerely, Genetic Lifeform and Disk Operating System Management Team, Computer Science Laboratory.
I'm glad that you actually know what the hell GLaDOS actually stood for. Because few people do.
Okay, welcome to another edition of the Bunnycast.
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 Da-da-da-da.
Not
the Bunnycast.
We're going to stop singing now. Okay, so.
I auditioned for this part, though.
You thought you were singing? We just did the song and dance to laugh at you.
But...
Making people cry is Dame Helen the LeatherClad, and the person crying is Sir Xepharon the Prepared. Also joining us is Ajac. Say hello.
Hi, I'm bemused.
Just for those of you joining us fresh off the internet or wherever you happen to be joining us from, the Bunnycast is the official... unofficial...
Superficial?
Again, here we go again. Stop it!
I thought this had become kind of like a daily, a recordingly routine by this time.
No, it gets old really, really quick. We have to stop and explain who we are.
People.
Strange face. No music. Okay.
Look what I have done to you.
The Bunnycast is the unofficially official or officially unofficial podcast for the bunny community surrounding Elguna Shive. Elguna Shive is a webcomic by Dan Shive, who was inspired to name it such by a throwaway line from The Simpsons. There's only been one goon in the comic in its entire run, and yes, that's enough. Shut up. Again, the bunnies are fans of Elguna Shive. That's a long story.
I can summarize it quickly.
Oh, God.
10 seconds, go.
Dan Shive wrote a comic called Elguna Shive. Developed fan base. Fan base said, "Hey, Dan, we need a name." Dan said, "No, you guys can name yourselves." They said, "No, you name it." He said, "Fine, you're bunnies." And it stuck.
I believe you made it under the 10-second mark. I'd have to find it.
Well, alrighty then.
Okay, there are three places. That the bunnies congregate on the internet. We have 910CMX. That is a community website, and in fact, you can go to community.910cmx.com. And my daughter is trying to double fist from 2 sippy cups at the same time.
Good for her.
So
she's gonna be a drinker.
community.910cmx.com, or you can also go to where the legacy bunnies hang out, forums.keenspot.com, and look for the Mayhem Forum. There is also a much lesser visited place, but still occasionally gets traffic, on the site that hosts the Bunnycast called Shastrix.
Shastrix! Yeah, I was actually looking at that yesterday when I was doing some of the sound tweaking on stuff. And I had seen that there was some posts from even September, and I was all like, holy crap, this actually gets...
Traffic.
There's life here. I thought this was like Mars, dead. Oh, speaking of which, I know this is completely random, but I've also found out that it's been kind of pointed out that at the Bunnycast page, near the bottom, there's like a ton of January 1st entries for 0 seconds in length of 1970. We've been around for a long time.
Wow. Must be a temporal causality loop or something.
Okay, who's been playing with my time machine without permission?
Damn it! That explains why
right.
we don't have the dirigibles anymore.
Xepharon? Yes,
What?
I'm listening to you.
What?
Did you play with my time machine without permission? Again?
Oh?
Okay, so, relatedly, there are a group of bunnies who are members of the Order of the Bunny. It's supposed to be a philanthropic organization. More on this when we actually do something.
Define philanthropic.
Doing nice things for other people.
We provide audio stuff.
That's not a nice thing. We're not being nice.
Oh, we're not we're only being mean to each other. You bastard. I mean...
No, I understand, Dick.
Alright, let's get on with it, Ho.
Okay,
When 2 9-year-olds are done...
Hey, call me a slut. Get it right.
That's right, you don't charge money.
Okay, let's move on to comic news. OMG, adorable Elliot.
He actually swears.
And he looks so proud! You want to give him a cookie!
Chocolate chip!
Or just lots and lots of snuggles,
How could you not love that face? That pretty face!
I want to glomp her.
So for those just joining the comic and not quite
Him
sure
or
what
him.
WTF is going on, we have on Elgunus Shive there is a character named Elliot. The running gag is that Elliot keeps getting turned into a girl through various means and ways, up to and including having a second version of himself be split off as a girl from the start.
Oddly enough, none of these ways involve cold water.
Which is surprising.
Also, completely random. I went to the comic page just so I can have my input after I've read it earlier today. And one of the ads on the side, best ad ever. It's 4 different pictures. All of them are just chest shots of boobs.
Oh my God.
And the funny thing is, the ad is brought to you by Project Wonderful. Well, that's certainly wonderful.
Sex sells distilled down to its most basic element.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the internet.
I'm mousing over. I'm mousing over. Apparently, it's a comic called Calamities of Nature. I have not read it. So.
Apparently, one of those calamities of nature is a complete loss of clothing.
I call that wardrobe malfunctions.
Okay, so Elliot most recently has become a superhero. Don't ask why, and we still don't know why the superhero is a girl superhero.
Don't ask, we won't tell.
And this girl superhero's alter ego is this incredibly sort of the teenage sexy librarian cute look that
Female Clark Kent.
I was just about to say Clark Kent V5'd.
So I'm completely correct in my description. So go read the comic, egscomics.com, to really understand what we're talking about. And yes, you do have to read the whole archive to understand the joke.
Welcome to hell.
So, let's take a moment out of our news segment to do a new segment we're going to be doing here. It's called "Give Us Money." No,
it's called "Help Me Stop Being Poor." No,
it's only called that if we're feeling really, really honest with ourselves.
It's called philanthropy on your part.
Yes. We at the Bunnycast are trying to grow this podcast into something that's actually, reliable and could be possibly considered an informative and enjoyable show. Wait, we're not enjoyable now. Wait. Damn. Okay, so we're trying to make this a more professional affair, and one of the things that we need to do is get some equipment and, frankly, some time to do so.
Buy me editing software. What?
No software for you.
Please support our delusions of grandeur. Help us out and donate.
Donations are great, or if you happen to be a business or know of a business that needs some advertising space, we will talk to you about doing some sponsorships on the show. Just make sure that whatever it is that you want us to sell is something that we would actually want to use in our regular life.
I need to go to PayPal now and create one of those donation tip jars.
Also,
of course, I'm going to be logging in under my name, of course.
Also, we would like to remind you that we will sell advertising space and our souls for no less than 30 pieces of silver.
And a +1 shirt of invisibility.
If you would, please.
See, we have one person of interest already.
She's trying to give me a funnel.
A funnel to stuff the money in the jar that much more efficiently.
She's also trying to give me a jug of water.
to help moisturize your throat after yelling with joy after all the money that we've been given.
Stop it. Okay, you're just stretching it.
Who knows the logic of small children?
Yes. If she handed me something to pour the water into, she's pointing into the funnel to say this is where the water goes. But I don't think she understands that if I pour the water into the funnel, it's going to come out the small part and make a big mess. Yes, that's about it. She needs it now. Okay, so thank you for participating in this Aperture Science fundraising experiment. Let's move on.
Quickly, for the love of God.
News segment, miscellaneous news. Oh, you know what? We never did the forum news. That's my bad. I went a little out of order. Okay, so forum news. I'm getting back to the forum news.
Eventually.
Okay, so let's talk newbies.
I love them. They're new. They're fresh.
We have, starting things off, Biscuit.
I like biscuits.
537. Greetings, I am Gareth, nicknamed Gaff or Biscuit.
Not to be confused with Gav.
Yes. How you get those two wildly disparate nicknames, I don't know.
Probably best not to ask unless it's been a long day and you have plenty of time to listen.
Yeah.
Gas, I'm not too sure about. Biscuit, I could almost be intrigued by. Back in boot camp, I was called Waffle because that's all I ever got in the mornings for breakfast was waffles.
Okay, so moving further. Oh, damn, I went to the second page and forgot to return to the first page on this one. We have
another one named Orcinus, or something, following a trend of the Uryomoko paragraph introductions.
Mokotai Forea you gan Borja
Usles alienese glumkrokol fubo me ujo you kelpke. Foy, you else you
stop it.
And it goes on from there.
Yes.
I believe from the ear.
I'm totally bullshitting my way through the whole thing, trying to read it, but trying to make it sound like I know what I'm reading. I have no.
So, but
I'll translate while you talk, and I'll interrupt you when I find out.
Moving on to an English speaker, We have Novia. Just found Alguna Shive. Really like it, so she came to the forums, and it does look like this is a genuine female bunny.
You mean there's a girl on the internet?
I know they're invading.
Hi, I'm Orcanus. I got into Alguna Shive from TV Tropes. Had read the order O the stick. I'm reading exactly what the drop-down menu has instead of order O the stick beforehand and failed to get into the Avengers O Dr. McNinja afterwards. I've got to say, Alguna Shive is epic. Yes, it is. Yeah. But I don't know what to do at this forum. Say hello, meet virtual people, ponder what's going to happen with Kaoli and Abraham, and ask just how many WHBCHMIC strips there are. How many Ubichkamik strips there are in Alguna Shive? I'd say it's at least triple digits, maybe 1,300. That's quadruple digits. And the like. I censored, like I should, contribute something, like a piece of artwork or something, but I'm lazy. Well, hello. Hopefully this isn't nonsense.
Yes, it is.
Well, it's not. It's actually very fitting with the bunny tradition and essence. And
insanity, mental illness.
You even created a new word. Witchimichimichik.
Okay, so then after getting a girl.
Oh God!
See, look, pink armor.
I was totally surprised to find out that my girlfriend was a girl.
So this is where the K9 conversation or KY conversation came in.
That's kind of where both of those came in, but anyway.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the truth is that everyone who actually does a podcast anywhere at any time is actually just a 14-year-old male having fun with his friends when he shouldn't be. It's our dirty little secret.
So after a nice discussion with the girl, we have Taxman, and forum thread entitled "Old Intestinal Methane in the House."
Oh dear God! You know you might be old when you fart and dust comes out.
God.
It's like, well, that's our community for you.
So, do we have any other newbies?
Yes, one more. Foolish G, spelled with 2 zeros instead of 2 O's. Long name is Fool's Gill. That's clever. Been a bunny since Comic Book Day 05. Nice.
Good timing.
What's that noise? I'm confused.
That's the random drama button.
Okay.
Yeah, also known as my phone.
So, those are our newbies for the week. 5 of them. Go say hello and glomp and give newbie kits and do the thing that we do to newbies, which sounds
do that
bad.
hoodoo that you do so well.
Do that voodoo. Anyways, moving on to other forum thread news. EGS-related dreams posted by Adaminator, who was our newbie, one of our featured newbies. Last time or the time before that we recorded, the one with the explosions and stuff avatar.
I love that icon. I said it before.
So, just going to read a bit from here. Have you ever had any EGS-related dreams?
Are we to answer?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
If I did, I don't remember. And if I did, hopefully it would have been about one of the characters.
I
Duh.
have. My dreams tend to be a little more.
Actually, I think I encountered Ted once.
Well, good for you.
Well, he's my hero.
My dreams tend to be of the okay, I think I'm awake, I think I'm going about my daily business, and something strange happens and I don't realize it's strange until I wake up, kind of thing.
I had a really weird dream last night. I was trying to figure out how to park a semi with trailer, the 50-foot, in my friend's front yard, which is on a hill.
Is your friend's front yard large enough?
No. It is not.
So while we're on the topic of Inception, let's see, EGS specifically, and not specifically related to EGS, but there was that one time I had that absolutely awesome dream that was more Order of the Bunny related. For those who may not have been listening to or participating in the podcast back when I read this dream online, basically what had happened in the dream was Killerfish and I were playing some, like massive multiplayer online role-playing, World of Warcraft kind of thing. But it wasn't World of Warcraft, thank God, because I can't stand that game at this point.
I found the remote. The couch ate it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Bunnycast. So anyways, we had found, we were doing this thing. The actual dream, it's really whacked out and funny to describe, but in the end, Killerfish and I were like the most powerful, best, strongest players in the entire game, and we found ourselves at the headquarters of this of the game company, and we had just defeated the biggest, last, most ridiculously powerful boss, and we were escorted out of the building by some people who were very happy to give us some neat stuff for doing so, and they have us outside they leave us outside the building. Killerfish and I look at each other and we say, "You think we should tell them?" Nah. And we turn into our game avatar selves because we found a bug in the game that lets us do that. Killerfish is like the super powerful warlock. I'm this ultra powerful warrior Valkyrie woman, and we both go our separate ways. and that was the end of the dream. It was a really rocking dream.
That does sound pretty badass, because usually those super ridiculously powerful in-game bosses are like 10 stories tall and like almost god-powerful. They're almost as powerful as the authors of Narrativium themselves.
Dun, dun.
Actually, speaking of really awesome in-game bosses, anybody who's a fan of Final Fantasy VI, which is frankly probably when Final Fantasy jumped the shark,
I haven't finished it yet, but I do.
There's the multi-tiered Dancing Mad suite where it's you're battling against Kefka, the big bad at the end, and on OC Remix there is I believe it's pronounced Cantata for Dance, and it is the most gorgeous redo of all 4 tiers I have ever heard. This is even better than Nobuo Uematsu's own remake during the Black Mages trilogy CD compilation. It is
interesting piece of information. Interesting piece of information, by the way. The final boss fight of Kefka in Final Fantasy VI, as far as I understand, that's actually the largest sprite in any video game.
Wow, I'm not surprised.
The largest game sprite, complete in one piece. That was because that sprite was actually all 4 tiers. That was actually one piece.
Wow.
Okay, so
God, I loved Squaresoft back in the day.
Back in the day, yes.
I'm going to find this now.
This reminds me, in regards to what Homer said earlier about probably when it jumped the shark, your mileage may vary. And now we can continue.
So what did you say it was called again?
I believe it's Cantata for Dance, although they do it in 3 parts because it took like a year for each part to be actually produced. And each part has its own name, but if you look for Cantata for Dance, you should be able to find it.
How do you spell cantata?
Cantatta.
Cantatta. for dance. Because I'm totally going to find this now. It's not an OC remix.
It is.
You'll have to link it to me.
Yeah, okay, I'll link it to you. Okay, so moving on to the art gallery. A new-ish thread, as in first generated... Oh, that's not new-ish, that's new! Started today. Motivational posters featuring Algunashive and such. We have the very first offering it's nice. It features Mr. Varys looking all badass with his magic wand and says, "Dad's government job. Don't ask questions." Like I said, it's okay. But then you go to the next one, and it features an entire strip from during the sleepover party. And it's the one where... Okay, well, let's narrate. Okay, I will be Nanase. Zeph, you be Susan, and Ajac, you be Ted.
Okay. One moment, please. Alright, proceed.
Alright. Hey, Ted, I've been meaning to ask you something.
I'm sorry, Nanese, but I have no idea why your male form has cockatoo hair.
What? That's not what I was wondering about.
Well, you should. It's downright bizarre.
I wanted to ask you about your outfit. I get that Elliot's wearing one of Sarah's uniforms, but where did you get yours? Is it also one of Sarah's?
No, it's mine.
Yours? You bought a girl's uniform?
Oh, school was giving out uniforms.
And they gave you that?
No, they gave me that. Ted already had clothes he could wear that would fit the new dress code, so he gave me the boy uniforms I gave him, and I gave him the girl uniforms they gave me.
I'm not getting this. How does that work out for you? Doesn't that leave you with nothing to wear?
Obviously, I intend to wear the boy uniforms to school.
Okay, I expect this sort of thing from Ted, but...
I do not cross-dress in women's clothing!
Well, to be fair, that's technically true.
And
Alguna Shive, yeah, this is pretty much
routine. Oh, this that was totally an unauthorized radio play version, but you know, actually, that would be really cool to do a radio play version of the party.
We should do it.
Yes, I love this plan. Let's do this. See what you people do to us.
We need more characters.
We do. Probably a few actual girls.
At least one.
In any case, the
Do we
motivation...
know any girls who will do this for us?
Hey, what?
Do we even know any girls who
Skype blipped out. I totally heard you say something different. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. You don't want to know what I thought you said.
I would like to state now, for the record, that I am not now or I never have been a vampire. I have also never gotten someone drunk in an effort to seduce them and steal their money. Not a vampire. However, he may be an elf. Also, he does like sandwiches.
But then again,
sandwiches are nummy. I was playing on the forums also, and I found the... remember that thread where we're talking about how Noxie got banned and all that stuff, and where people are talking about how Noxie got banned? Bunnies being bunnies, that topic has thoroughly been derailed, and they're talking about different crap in the Noxie got banned topic. Not that I can complain, because that's what bunnies do.
Kind of like this forum, or this podcast.
Forum, podcast.
Oh, fail on me. Scott Pilgrim stuff. We have another thread from Novia, who has decided to be very active as well right off the bat, which is awesome.
It's Xepharon the Prepared. We'll get back to the thread he was talking about very soon, right after these messages.
You jumped in on the wrong news segment.
It's in the news forum. New forum? News forum? News?
Nude forum.
I like
we have a nude forum?
Well, I am sitting here on the couch in my robe and box. Anyway.
That's not nude. Hey, guys.
I can change that.
Is this Scott Pilgrim stuff any good? Because I think the movie looks a bit silly, but the comics have grabbed me with their art style, which is both awesome and cute at the same time. So, go and participate there. I know at least one other bunny who will probably jump in and say, OMG, it's the best stuff ever!
OMG, it's the best stuff ever!
Not you.
OMG, it's probably the best stuff I've seen all year. I don't know about ever, but it's the best stuff I've seen all year.
Well, Fry Laban! As far as the Scott Pilgrim stuff, it's supposed to be silly.
Yes.
And amazing.
I haven't seen it yet, but I want to, actually.
I have not seen it either, but not for lack of desire.
I want to see it. I have had lack of money. I've had lack of Bunnycast donation. I mean, just of donations. I mean, of job.
Yes. I've played the Scott Pilgrim Xbox 360 arcade game.
There's a game?
Yes, there is.
It's a game.
Damn.
It kind of like the comic and the movie harken back to sort of the 8-bit era where, you know, there were literally one-ups that you could just grab off whatever street you happen to be wandering down. The Scott Pilgrim arcade game, think Double Dragon. It's about like that.
Nice.
Return to the golden age.
Yes, it is very good. Including the music, gameplay, bad guys, another comparable video game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The real original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles side-scrolling 4-player action game.
Oh, that was a classic.
Yes, it is.
That game was a bitch, but that game was classic.
It's very much like that, and it's one of the. It is one of those games that really is better played with other people.
What about like Golden Axe? You remember that?
Yeah. Golden
Axe 1 and 2. Only you can only have up to 3 or 2 players. 2 players.
Yeah, the same kind of thing. Again, it's one of those that's best played with other people, because if you're just playing it on your own, it's kind of fun, but after a while it just gets to be a slog. You're just pounding through bad guys.
Yeah, it's great with other people because occasionally your partner will accidentally hit you, get pissed off, and beat the shit out of them instead of the bad guys. Oh, the good old days of River City Ransom.
So now I do like the trailers. Obviously, Ajac likes the movie. I understand the comic is pretty good, considered to be award-winning. So yeah, it looks to be like it's really good. So
yeah,
there you go. All right, so let's actually go on to the miscellaneous news segment. And Zeph, since you are so eager to talk about it, go ahead.
Like I said, the forum threads, even though I guess this is still forum news, miscellaneous news, and
yeah.
Anyway, it constitutes us both. I'm just terribly amused at this, and this is pretty much the sole reason I'm going about this. Is it's going on about, originally about Noxie being banned, and then it goes into the last post is probably one of the best one. It's quoting another person who says, "Well, since it's a forum on the internet aimed at adults, I'm not sure why the BBS plays mommy." To which the reply is, "It would probably be less necessary if adults could actually be relied on to act like mature people." Someone then said, and then he quotes someone else saying, "As a total aside on this, the moderators should censor a random word once a month and have a prize for anyone that manages to figure out what it was." To which the reply is, "Well, we already do. Last month's word was supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And the month before that was floxinaucinihilipilification." I dare anybody to record that and say it at least twice fast. It says
falafel.
And that's the problem.
Floxinaucinihilipilification. Sure, that's still not it.
Stop.
Which actually pulled up a definition on the fucking word to find out it's a noun. I think it should be a verb, but whatever. Supposedly it means considering something to be worthless. And really the word was created for the sole reason to be the longest English word, longer by a single letter from the previous champion, anti-disestablishmentarianism. Of course, that victory has since been topped by the name of a disease, pneumonia ultra microscopic silicovolcanioconiosis. Personally, I like hippopotamonsterquipdaliophobia. The fear of big words.
I pulled that in my high school intro to psych class in my senior year of high school. I pulled that on people who were complaining about me using big words.
What, hippopotamonsterquipdaliophobia?
Yeah.
Oh, good lord. Okay. In other news,
something serious then.
Yes. Okay.
Australia's Qantas airline has actually shut down the entire air fleet due to an engine malfunction that actually resulted in the engine exploding in mid-flight. Pieces of the engine actually fell across, I think, over like the school grounds and whatnot. They were flying over Indonesia or something. They were over Batam Island in Indonesia, where they were actually forced to dump fuel and fly around for a while to burn the rest of it off over and return to Singapore Changi Airport later on. Oddly enough, no one was actually killed. I think there was a few people mildly injured from debris that fell, but nothing actually serious. But like I said, the entire fleet of the 6 A380s, the entire fleet, there's only 6 of them, but all 6 of them are apparently grounded until they can actually conduct the investigation as to why the engine blew up, why there's any kind of malfunctions, and until they're actually comfortable with allowing those airplanes to fly again, so that kind of thing doesn't happen again. There's been other minor problems that have been like non-fatal, non-injury, in fact, really minor, but still a string of issues, and then this one as the final follow-up has kind of caused them to ground out completely. The last one to be noted was that on landing, this Airbus actually had 2 of the tires out of the 8 per wing, or no, 6 per wing plus 8 on per wheel strut, and there's 2 on the main. A shitload of wheels, and 2 of them actually exploded on landing.
Wow.
Neat.
Interesting thing though is I think up to 4 or 6 of these tires can blow before there's even anything to actually worry about for one of these planes. I'm assuming that it's 1 tire per strut. But yeah, so shit. Yeah, and this actually happened about a day or 2 ago as of this recording. So around November, what is today, the 4th? No, around November 2nd or 3rd. Or whatever the hell Squattle's time zone is. For yesterday or the day before.
Right.
I have no idea.
Well, and that's something... What is that echo? That's something to... there are people here in the U.S. that say that Southwest Airlines has a problem in that every single plane is exactly the same. That was a business decision made by the founders of the company when they realized that, hey, if we have one type of plane, then if we have to fix any of them, then we'll have the parts pretty much guaranteed in stock. And they probably have enough of the parts of all sorts to build like 3 or 4 planes just from the parts. And the benefit to that is, anything goes wrong, you can fix it right away. The downside, as was demonstrated here, is anything goes wrong, sometimes you have to stop everything.
Because if it's wrong with one, it could be wrong with all of them.
Exactly.
Ironically enough, this airline, this is Australia's airline, by the way, this type of airplane is actually one of the most technologically advanced as far as aircraft goes.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you can imagine how much money went into this, and now how much more is going to go into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like I said, it's the The shares in the engine's manufacturer, London Stock Exchange, also listed Rolls-Royce, fell 5.5% to 618.5 pence, the sharpest fall in 18 months.
Ouch.
Yeah. The fall in the share price has been directly attributed to the incident of the exploding engine.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Can you imagine being on the window seat that happened on? Yeah, some people actually said it sounded like like a bomb going off or like a shotgun or something really fucking loud. Well, no shit.
Really?
But yeah, they could actually see like the foam insulation, wires hanging out, and other stuff. And a lot of people were praying. The pilot did everything right to on 3 of the 4 engines operating to land the plane without incident, and the entire aircraft cheered and applauded. And
hooray!
Yeah, go pilot! Good job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hooray! We're not dead yet.
So, in other news, here in the U.S., looks like the celebration over the termination of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy was premature because while it was killed, it is back. That's right, it is a zombie law.
Kill it with fire!
If only, Zeph, really. A appeals court has...
Well, I mean like small arms fire. No.
Yes. An appeals court has overturned I
didn't do it, I promise.
Extended the stay of what was the language? Anyways, basically they said
stay of injunction.
Stay of injunction. Thank you. Has extended the stay of injunction, so basically it is still a law that is in effect. Because the reason they chose to do this is because they want things to be legislated, which would be fine if the legislation was actually being acted on. There is a piece of legislation that's been in the process for well over a year, called ENDA, ENDA. It's like I forget what it's all about, but basically it's for providing guarantees of equality in the public sphere and in the workplace for transgenders.
See, what people don't know is that ENDA actually stands for, ENDA, that's end all be all. Just there's no B in there, not sure why. That's the Army for you. Or...
Well, ENDA's not a military thing, but it's related in that it addresses a segment of the society that a large segment of society is still somewhat uncomfortable with. And now, see, here's the thing. ENDA is probably a really good law. The problem is it's obscure even to people who are in the transgender community, so I don't think it's going to pass. It's probably going to have to be tabled and a new law or a new bill to be put out in order to get the exact same thing accomplished, but worded better and structured better so that people can actually make heads or tails of the damn thing. As far as the Don't Ask, Don't Tell thing goes, a lot of people might be curious as to why, if I object to, say, judges making gay marriage legal, as opposed to, say, judges striking down this law. The purpose of the judges are to dictate whether a law is or is not applicable under the Constitution, or if a particular case follows the law. With the Prop 8, or not the Prop 8 thing, with the gay marriage thing, the judges were basically creating a right out of whole cloth. They were saying, yes, this is a right, and because we say so. That's wrong. A judge coming along and saying this law is in direct conflict with the United States Constitution, that is what a judge is supposed to do. They are supposed to interpret the law and determine, in this case, if the law is constitutional or not. She decided it was unconstitutional. So I support this as an action of judicial jurisprudence in order to, actually do her job. I don't think that the appellate court I don't agree with the appellate court, but they still did their job in saying this is how we interpret the law in terms of its applicability to the law as it stands in the Constitution. Everybody's doing their job in this case. I don't like the result so far, but everybody's doing their job.
Keep in mind how rare of a feat this is that everybody is doing their job.
Right. Now, one thing I'd like to point out...
I have to wonder about the full truth about that.
One thing I'd like to point out is that Obama has been saying, I want to make sure that Don't Ask, Don't Tell is abolished as a law in this nation. This was his opportunity. He could have easily said, okay, DOJ, you've done your part in prosecuting your part of defending the government's law. We don't have to appeal this. Stop right there. He could have done that. That's within his ability and his role as President of the United States to order his Department of Justice team to say, no, stop, you're done.
Okay, and what's going to happen when he says that? Not legally speaking. Let's look at this a different way. Let's look. What is the baying hounds of the media going to make of that?
They're going to love it. They're going to say Obama decided to allow Don't Ask, Don't Tell to go to the wayside. The media's been harping on Don't Ask, Don't Tell from the beginning. It is now an international joke of a law.
I think that if Obama were to do that, and then the media got a hold of that, and then said, oh my God, it's actually sticking, it's official, the president said so, the entire nation has been told by the media, which the nation follows the media like a fucking religion, that this has become the case, and then all of a sudden, let's say the law says no. Well, the entire media and the president said so. The people aren't going to really go for that.
The issue is the media. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm speaking of the media as if it's a monolith. But in any case, everything I complain about other people doing, I'm doing right now. But with that said, for the large part, the media does not really give a flying shit about whether something is legal or not. They care about the fact that it makes enough conflict to get good ratings. That's the beginning and the end for the greater sum of the media.
Sadly, this is true.
Yeah.
So it's not going to matter that, this is what he's been saying. It's not going to matter any of that. What's going to happen is if he does that, half the media is going to declare him the second coming, and the other half is going to declare him Satan himself.
Oh, shit. A lot of people have already declared Obama as the Antichrist.
And the second coming.
And the second coming. Yeah. Yeah.
So either way, it's not going to matter. Nothing changes and nothing gets done because everyone wants bread and circuses.
I want candy and circuses, but still.
I don't know. A good sweet bread can be nice. Anyways,
yeah.
Everybody is doing their job, but the problem I have with Obama in this case is he's wanting to have a legislative ram-through of what he decides are his policies, where he could have just said, okay, done. And it's like, okay, you have your opportunity to be the God King Emperor that everybody says you're trying to be, and you have this one moment in time where what you say, that makes it happen, and you choose not to do that. So far, you're not endearing me to you at all, and this is on top of all the other bullshit that he's been or not been doing.
Personally, while I'm not pleased with the results, I am kind of proud of him for that. For the very reasons that he's making you mad, he's actually, endearing himself quite a lot to me, because that power of the presidency to be able to just say, okay, this is the law now. That's something that's supposed to be used absolutely sparingly. And it hasn't been in the past 50 years. And
I really have to agree with Ajac on that.
If it doesn't stick, if future presidents decide to go back to the way it was, that's fine. But Obama looks like he's trying. and I have to give him credit for that.
I have to side with Ajac on that thought process.
In order to not let this derail too hard into a debate as to whether Obama's doing a good job or not, we are running pretty close to time on this first segment. So, Ajac, why don't you cover the last news story of this segment of the show?
Alrighty then. What we're going to cover now is the U.S. elections and the results thereof. The Republicans have made significant gains and have retaken the House. John Boehner will now be the Speaker of the House. However, Democratic Whip Harry Reid managed to maintain his Senate seat against the Tea Party candidate who was opposing him. And even though I actually, believe it or not, don't have as much of a problem with the Tea Party because, to be fair, most of the Tea Party candidates have been pretty on message about not caring about very much besides the economy. They are an economic movement party. But Sarah Engel, I believe is her name, the woman who was running against Harry Reid, wanted to all but abolish the Board of Education, wanted to remove most of the tax code, and wanted to take us out of the United Nations. So when she lost to Harry Reid, I said, "Oh, thank you, sweet Lord Jesus, you have not abandoned us in our darkest hour." Anyway, Christine O'Donnell also lost in Delaware, once and for all, proving she is not a witch. As did Christopher Palladino, once and for all, proving that New Yorkers are not quite that stupid.
Well, I can't comment on those races, but here in California, we, of course, had the gubernatorial race, and one of the candidates was Meg Whitman, former CEO of eBay. And I wish I could take credit for this joke, but I can't because it wasn't me. I didn't even come close to thinking of it. One of my coworkers said to me yesterday, "So, do you think if the election had a buy it now button, Meg Whitman would be governor?"
Speaking of California,
I was watching a video on the Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart's March to Insanity and Keep Fear Alive things.
Oh, that was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you who saw it.
I would have liked to have gone, but I actually watched the video of his closing speech thing, and I actually called one of his jokes. Totally fucking called it. He was talking about how, the light at the darkest hour. Sometimes it's not the light at the end of the tunnel is not always the hopes and dream that we've been looking for. And I says, yeah, it's probably New Jersey. And he goes, sometimes it's New Jersey. I was like, oh, got it.
Speaking of California, to go back to what Homer said earlier, Prop 19, the most high-profile proposition on the ballot this session, which was the ballot to legalize marijuana, actually failed. And the reason why I believe it failed was actually not the reason most people are saying. It's that both political parties came out against it. And there's something about the idea that the Republicans and the Democrats are agreeing on something is enough to set people off and make them think that it's important.
I honestly think that again, bringing up the girlfriend. I've been talking to her a lot recently because we ended up visiting some friends. That, well, I'm not going to really go into detail. But we did a little bit of discussion, and I have to agree with her on the fact that, the whole deal with keeping things like marijuana illegal and keeping this giant crackdown and all this other, we are wasting far more money. Far
more money.
Yeah, okay, so it is grammatically correct. It didn't just feel like it. We're wasting far more money on that than we could be using that money on something else. The whole thing where they, marijuana will ruin your life. It's an addictive drug. It's not addictive.
And the statistics.
It can be, but the fact, it's actually I've known quite a few people that do smoke marijuana. And quite honestly, every single one of those people, it's had the same effect on. They are very relaxed and laid back.
Yeah.
Calm and nice.
Yeah.
But what I have come to realize is people are always going to get high. Some way, somehow, they will find a way. They will do it somehow.
So you want to boost the economy, legalize it, and then have an industry for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, if they're going to do it anyway, you take marijuana, which is the most innocuous and least dangerous, and it's the most common of the illegal drugs. You take that, you legalize it, you tax the ever-living shit out of it.
It's also helpful for people like myself who have the early onsets of glaucoma, or the people that actually do have glaucoma already.
Yeah. And,
that's a shitty thought, though. Think about that. Anyway. But yeah, tax the living fuck out of it. Sure, why not? But people will still get it anyway, and now it's legal. I mean, sure, you're still going to have the black market edition of it, where people will still have it and grow it themselves and sell it. But this way, you can still... you have black market thing for fucking everything. But you have this, and you can have a market industry for it, tax the fuck out of it, boom, America's out of recession. The United States has money again. Plus, there's a shitload of jobs for people to grow marijuana.
Yeah, that's always been how I've responded to the immigration problem. Well, round them up, give them citizenships, say hi, welcome to the tax bracket.
Sounds good to me. But just the illegal ones. I mean, the ones that are just trying to come here. Now you get the people. Now I have a sort of an interesting debate on it. I mean, on that. I mean, yeah, you take the illegals, do that. The people that come here and are actually trying for citizenship, give them their break because they're actually trying to.
Yeah.
Give them their break for a while. They'll contribute in time.
Okay, so
anyway, that's a topic for another time.
Yeah, pulling back to the Prop 19 thing. I'd like to point out that even though both parties were against it, and a lot of people were saying this is going to be a terrible thing if it goes through, it still was only stopped by 7.3%.
That's not bad. Just so you all know, listeners, Ajac had to vanish, so
hopefully we'll get another person by the next segment, and this is a good note for us to say goodbye for now.
Actually, I think I just heard the door shut from Ajac's part, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so
yeah. So yeah. But that's. We'll see everybody later, and enjoy yourself. See you next week. So that's. I honestly do think that's an interesting thing, though, with the whole marijuana thing. Just tax the living fuck out of it.
Well, as the tacky, unlearned American in Germany said, "Orf Wittershins."
Oh, where have I heard that?
I thought I just came up with it.
No, I think I've actually heard this. The Bunnycast is a production of the Bunnycast Networks. Praise the world because of your grace. Our best at Jeffrey and used without permission. On a Chase is copyrighted Nintendo, and the remix you heard created by Prince of Darkness on ocremix.org. Used without permission. This production is in no way affiliated with Dan Shive, Laguna Shive, or any of the persons or properties mentioned. The views reflected in this podcast are those of the host and guests, and not necessarily those of the hosting company or other affiliated parties.